Y'all, I genuinely feel like I don't actually need to record this video. There's so much mishaps have happened. I stumbled up a bunch. I kept hitting things and my camera would be shaking on my webcam. I muted my microphone and I couldn't even hear myself for the video. And here I am talking about how happy I am being single and nobody could freaking hear me. I hate that so much. Why are you a scrub lord, Kai? Just why? So back when I was in my teens, I genuinely didn't like the fact that I was single, mostly because everybody who kind of was a piece of shit was already in a relationship. They had boyfriends, they had girlfriends, people who I knew were getting dates left and right. They were finding their purse. Some of them found their people. Legitimately had like a high school sweetheart. And I was sitting here being the only person, the only girl in that class who was single. And everyone else was dating somebody. And of course I was a lesbian. And at school, I was one of the only lesbians that was single and like didn't have somebody already lined up because they were all dating each other and I was like the only person who didn't have a girlfriend. And it made me feel really bad because being autistic, I hyper focus a lot on that kind of stuff. That literally was one of my biggest hyperfixations, was the fact that I was single. And hell, back in high school, I'll admit this is one of my most embarrassing memories. I am a bit embarrassed that I still feel like a lot of sadness and resentment for prom because I was single both years that I went. I went for both years. The first year I went was because I was on the prom committee, and the second year I went because it was a senior prom. Of course, I had to go. I was one of the only people that legitimately didn't have anybody to dance with. And I didn't really have a lot of friends. Like, most of the people I considered my friends typically didn't go to prom. And so I'm literally sitting by myself at a table. And especially in senior prom, this was a huge thing. I literally rushed to the bathroom and cried. Tried not to cry half the night because I felt super lonely. And I would be eating all the food because I had nothing better to do than eat and eat and eat. I looked pretty and like nobody even noticed me. I never really got the chance to have a real like good couple experience at prom. I didn't really have an experience at prom I want to enjoy, so I kind of pushed those memories back. But everyone mentioning how happy they were, and it's like, I regret it. I regret actually, being, single. At that time, it was like the worst thing ever to be single. Like, it was the worst thing ever to not have anybody to go out with at that time. You didn't even have a friend. You didn't even have friends to go with. Like, I was that person who literally just was alone at prom. And, like, nobody even wanted to dance with me. Nobody wanted to be my date. And it sucked. It sucked a lot. All the girls I liked were either in relationships or didn't want to go, or they were too young, or they didn't like me. Like, they legitimately hated me. I had a lot of people that hated me because of my views, political views. But I guess that was the most alienating thing, was that I was alone and on prom. And that was one of the biggest things I realized, that I probably bet dating genuinely isn't for me. Like, I'd be by myself. Because I'm not straight. If I were bi or straight, if I liked men, I probably would be in a fucking relationship by now. But then I started really thinking about it. After my longest relationship, which was about 6 months, I know it doesn't seem that long, but for me, who's at that time, my longest relationship was a month, it was about 2.5 months. 6 months was a lot. I managed to get through almost half a year, okay? And that was my longest relationship. And I didn't even realize how well we worked out. I thought we worked out very well. But of course, that person put me through kind of a hellish end of our relationship. Because she was trying to get me to talk more. And when I did try to talk more, it wasn't the way that she wanted. So, and I was uncomfortable doing some of the things that she didn't want to do. And then we broke up. A lot of times, my relationships fail because of communication stuff. And I'm really working on that. And I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons I'm single. But I genuinely am trying to be a lot happier to be single. And this is why the video title is called I'm Trying to Be Happy Single. It's because it's a work in progress, you know. It's not perfect, but it's more honest than anything else I've done. And genuinely, I now stop caring about being in a relationship because a lot of times, a lot of the people who are in relationships either have really terrible ones or they genuinely don't care all that much about it. And I don't understand where a lot of people get this from, but I do hope that someday I will have a long-term relationship. That's really my biggest goal, is to have a long-term relationship, get married, have children, and live in a house. That's literally what my long-term dreams were. And I know a lot of people, a lot of like lesbian and bi women don't want that. At least the ones I spoke to. At least the ones I've talked to. A lot of them don't want to have that. And it's a little sad, mostly because I want that, and I'm trying my best to drown out all this sound that's going on next door because I decided to record on the day when Scrub Lords decided to start playing loud-ass music and having a loud-ass cookout. Literally disturbing everyone in my house, actually. So, yeah, sorry. But on a realistic note, I know that I'm single. I am working on being happy alone. Because while I am happy alone, I'm content being alone. Apparently, being content isn't enough for me. I have to be fully happy. And like, I thought content was happy. Like, you're happy enough to make it day to day. But of course, I still have crushes. I still want to talk to people. I still want to date people. It's just that I am trying my best to get that across to many people. So, yes, I am single. Yes, I am somewhat happy. I'm content, actually. I'm beyond content. I'm now actually becoming more happier single because my confidence is growing a lot more, mostly because of the YouTube channel, actually. YouTube's helping me become more confident because I'm talking to people, even though I know, like, not a lot of people watch my content. Which, by the way, definitely subscribe to this channel and then my gaming channel, my main channel, because it's a fandom channel. It's not just gaming. It's not. And please like those videos, subscribe to those channels, because that would really help me out. I would love that. But to really end this video off, I genuinely wanted to bring up the idea that people who are single are not always lonely. You have to start being happy with yourself. That's really what everyone says. You have to start being a lot happier with yourself than you are with somebody. Because if you're not happy alone, you probably aren't going to be that happy in a relationship. And I know that from experience. Trust me. I've gone on a lot of failed dates. But, you know, I'm working on that. I'm working on talking to people. And just today, May 14th, 2021, I went out to Starbucks and I was chatting up a cute barista there. Like, I mean, I can chat them up about general topics and stuff, maybe if they're not working. But no, this was me getting deep into our interests, which we both were gamers. We're both nerds, and we were talking about Animal Crossing and our favorite villagers, and and we were also talking about Persona, because she's a Persona 5 fan, and she has Royals, and she streams, she's on YouTube. I would love to finally get the courage to talk to her again someday and maybe hang out with her. I wish that would be a very nice thing. But of course, I don't know what life will bring me. So, this is the conclusion of the video, to say, you don't know what life brings you. I don't know what's going to bring me. It might bring me somebody completely unexpected to either come back into my life or come into my life completely anew. And I do hope it comes soon, but if it doesn't, I won't really be too upset. But that's really it for my video. I definitely hope you stick around because there will be more content on this channel. I'll probably be recording vlog footage on my phone, which will be then edited into a video or two, talking about my trip, my staycation, and being more confident and stuff. You know, that kind of stuff. I genuinely like what I do. And so I do hope you stick around for that and subscribe if you haven't already. That'd be fun. So thank you for listening to me vent a little bit about how happy I am being single. Bye.